Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Texas Rangers franchise here on MLB The Show 21 and the MSM Sports Network. Today we pick up in the series finale against the Oakland A's squarely in the middle of the month of September. The Texas Rangers have been playing some of their best baseball all season long, beginning with that 8-game winning streak in the month of August, and it's continued here into the final full month of the season as Texas has opened up a 4.5-game lead over the Houston Astros. In the month of September, so far we've defeated the Seattle Mariners and Oakland A's, and then we also upset the Los Angeles Dodgers, taking 2 of 3 from them before heading into this series against the Oakland A's. And in today's episode, what we're going to do is we're going to get through the last of this month of September and into October. And basically, as long as we're playing good baseball and maintaining a lead, what I'm going to do is play critical moments in these games, kind of giving you an idea of how we're progressing through the final few games in this regular season. We'll be keeping a close eye on the AL West chase and ultimately showing you if we win the wild card or if we win the division outright over the Houston Astros. So a ton in this episode basically depends on what we do through these next couple of weeks, and I'm excited to jump in and out of games and show you what exactly is going on. But before we get to all of that, I wanted to take a quick moment to thank you for your support and all the kind words that I've received throughout these episodes. Currently, at time of recording this, I believe I'm up to 56 subscribers, which of course sounds minuscule compared to some of the YouTubers out there. But when you take into consideration the fact that I'm not doing this project for likes or for views, it truly is a way that I can continue my broadcasting career and continue to create storylines. I grew up listening to Texas Rangers baseball broadcast over the radio, Eric Nadel, and to get to share stories like they've done for so many years really means the world to me. And so to have viewers like you on for the ride and being so supportive means quite a bit. And so I just wanted to take a moment to thank you for all the support that you've given me. It truly means the world, and I'm excited to get to share these exciting episodes with you as we create a story. You know, the rebuild has gone so much quicker than I thought it would, and Texas is in a great position now to ultimately be able to win an AL West championship and, you know, try and compete for a World Series title. Really a lot quicker than I even thought was going to be possible. And so it's exciting to have people along for the ride. I'm excited to be able to share this story. So thank you guys so much for being a part of that. As I scroll through some of these stats here, specifically the home runs, the Rangers are absolutely obliterating the baseball this season. We've been in contention for the lead in all of the big leagues in offensive categories like home runs and RBIs, as well as extra base hits. And I've been really, really impressed at what we've gotten to show this season. I think it's going to be absolutely critical as we head down the stretch. To give you a quick update on what our minor league teams are doing, the Express have ripped off a gigantic winning streak. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games, and they're currently 1 game ahead of the El Paso Chihuahuas for their division win. Basically, that would lock up, obviously, a playoff spot, and I would love to see the AAA ball club get into the postseason. They are so talented with their roster. Their lineup has been very, very solid. We called up Santiago Sanchez, actually, as an injury replacement. He's hitting 300. And these guys are just developing at such a great rate. I'm really excited to see what the future with guys like Randy Florentino are. I think even Josh Stowers eventually has a chance at being a big leaguer. Dan Porton, of course, a lot of eyes on him. And then you go to the pitching rotation. You've got guys like Hans Kraus, Cole Reagans, Colby Allard, who's obviously had MLB success, Tyler Phillips, who's poised to be a big league regular, and then guys like Brock Burke, who are 13-2 with a sub-3 ERA. They've been tremendous to watch this season and give me a ton of hope for this organization going forward. The Rough Riders have had a bit of a rough stretch, and so I'm not going to dive as deeply into them this episode. They're 8 games back. They're not going to make the postseason with the Sod Poodles right there, but I still like where our organization is right now. And so with the minor leagues covered, let's dive into some of these games. We'll start with the key moments from this Oakland series, and then we'll move on as basically seeing how critical some of these games are. Final home series against the Astros before we play them at the end of the month. So much is yet to be decided as we head down this final little bit in 2022. Well, I was going to take you inside this game, but as you can see, it did not go all that well for the Texas Rangers. Dane Dunning had an abysmal start, and the A's post 9 runs in the first 3 innings, including a 7-run third. Texas just got no offense going, and we lost that series, dropping Game 3 10-0. Taking inside the first game of the Astros series, and David Dahl launches another leadoff home run. The Astros get one back in the second. Skip ahead now to the bottom of the fourth, and the Rangers rally for a second run. So it's 2-1. Texas gets a leadoff runner on first, and then with runners on the corners, we'll jump into this one as Jose Trevino at the plate here in the bottom of the seventh, and the first pitch swinging just misses what likely would have been a bases clearing double. Take you now to 2 count. Good slider, but just off the plate. Full count pitch, and that fastball never even threatened the zone. So bases are now loaded with nobody out for Forrest Whitley here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Jason Martin, who's cooled off a little bit, steps to the plate. The 2-0 hanging changeup he was just way out in front of. 2-1 now to Martin, who's trying to come through with his first base hit of the day. As Whitley fires, and a good fastball finds the inside part of the plate. 2-2 now, and he got him swinging. Martin late on the fastball. Whitley just a double play away from getting out of the inning. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa now, and he gets a hanging slider, and he pops this one up. Infield fly rule is in effect, and just one pitch away from getting out of it. David Dahl, the next batter. Weak dribbler in front of the plate, but he's going to beat it out. David Dahl, the weakest imaginable way to drive in a run, but the Rangers do get the insurance run. The inning would end here, however, as Nick Solak goes down on a questionable pitch below the zone, so Whitley dances out of it after loading the bases and just allowing the 1 run. Top of the 9th now, and it's Jonathan Hernandez in on for the save. Runners on first and second, though, as the first 2 base runners have made it on. Easy pop fly there as we get the first out in the inning. Pedro Leon now just gets under a hanging pitch right down the middle, and he'll fly this one softly to left field. Hernandez 1 out away from dancing out of this. Nick Maton, the next batter, and the 1-2 pitch roped down the right field line, but it curves foul, and Hernandez avoids disaster. Very next pitch, 1-2 count, and a makeup call from the home plate umpire. Changeup catches the bottom of the zone, and the Rangers take Game 1 from Houston by the score of 3-1. As Wes Benjamin was fantastic. He goes 7 strong innings, strikes out 6, and just gives up the 1 run. Well, the Astros took Game 2, so the rubber match was set up on a Sunday afternoon. The Rangers 4 games ahead of Houston, as we'll break out the throwback vests, a favorite look of mine here in this finale. It was Hyunjung Yang on the mound for the Rangers. 0-2 count to Michael Brantley, the leadoff hitter, and he'll spray this one down the left field line. Willie Calhoun over to it, trying to cut it off, but the throw not in time, and Brantley leads off with a double. 1 out now, 0-2 count on Yordan Alvarez, and Yang takes care of him with relative ease. Good morning, good afternoon, good night from the lefty as he strikes Alvarez out on a fastball up and away. 2 outs now. Alex Bregman, 1-2 count, and despite the runner being on third after the leadoff double, the Astros squander the opportunity. Taking out of the top of the third, another leadoff double for the Astros, and it's Michael Brantley going the other way again. That one just outside the reach of Willie Calhoun, and the Astros will plate the first run of the game here in the top of the third. Brantley, back-to-back doubles in back-to-back plate appearances. Still here in the top of the third, 3-2 count to Yordan Alvarez, and he strikes out again. Great curveball from Yang, his 5th K of the ballgame already, and it would bring up Alex Bregman. Weak ground ball, his first time, but this one's going to play pepper with the left field wall, right over the 372 sign, and the Astros take a 2-0 lead off Bregman's laser beam into left field, his 24th of the season. 2 pitches later, Kyle Tucker hits a laser beam of his own into the Rangers bullpen, and the Astros break it open early. It's 4-0 Stros off the back of the 22nd home run from Kyle Tucker, and it would not get any better for the Rangers. Astros add another one in the 6th. Jose Urquidy was throwing a no-hitter into the 6th inning. He was borderline untouchable. David Dahl hits another home run in the 8th inning for the Rangers, but Texas just not able to get any sort of offense going. And in the bottom of the 9th, it was Ryan Presley on a 1-2 count against Trevor Story, and with the swing and the miss, the Astros come into Arlington and take 2 of 3 from Texas to continue to whittle down the lead in the AL West. So it's down to 3.5 games as the Rangers will head into a 4-game set against Seattle, and the Rangers have lost back-to-back series. After a strong start to the month, they need to win this series against the Mariners, and they do just that. The first 2 games, a 7-6 win, and then a 17-2 shellacking of the Mariners, a team that had the only winning record in the division coming into the month of September. Despite the Mariners being 69-75, they've actually owned the American League West this season. But with the first 2 games under their belt, the Rangers extend that lead out to 5-game once again and continue to stay in the driver's seat. The Rangers would sweep the Seattle Mariners in all 4 games and head into a series against the San Francisco Giants. But Yang had another tough start, giving up 3 runs in the 3rd and continuing to struggle here as he's eventually not even going to make it out of the 5th inning. A walk and then a single puts runners on the corners, and that would be it. Yuri Rodriguez has to come out and put out the fire there in the 5th inning. Rangers threaten here in the bottom of the 5th. They'll get a couple off an RBI double from Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. David Dahl sends Kiner-Falefa home. But in the 7th, Yuri Rodriguez stayed in for just a little bit too long. He gives up 2 runs in the top of the 7th, and the Giants would take the lead and not look back. They win 7-3. So a decent week so far, but we did lose a series to Houston. We sweep Seattle, and then we're going to get swept by the San Francisco Giants, and we also get terrible news. Brock Burke has broken his hand. He's done for the rest of the year and will not be able to partake in the playoffs with the Round Rock Express. Brock Burke was an overachiever this year, 2.71 ERA, 14-3 final record in 28 starts. He was just so much fun to watch, and I look forward to getting him back next season. Well, the Rangers did not score in the final 2 games against the Giants, and now we head into our final series of the season against the Houston Astros. We'll pick it up top 3, 2-0 count here on Trevor Story. Runners on the corners and a laser beam hit out to left field. That'll be caught, but it will get Nick Solak home, and Texas scores the first run of the ball game here in the 3rd. 3-1 count now. Nate Lowe, as he digs in, takes a fastball on the corner. The 3-2 pitch pounded high and deep towards right field, slicing towards the corner, and it's going to stay in play. Just missed a foul ball or maybe even a home run had that straightened out. Rangers lead 1-0 though. Into the top of the 5th we go. Tyler Naquin to the plate. He gets jammed on a 1-2 slider, and Freudis Nova out to make the catch for the first out. Willie Calhoun now the batter. First pitch he sees ripped towards first base. It's off the glove of the first baseman. Throw to second, and they get the out. What a play by the Astros defense. So it comes down to Trevor Story. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. The first pitch bends outside. We go to a 1-2 count now against Luis Garcia, and a hanging curveball into left field, a base hit. A line drive for Trevor Story, and he has driven in both runs for the Rangers this evening to give Texas a 2-0 lead. Bottom of the 6th now, Alex Bregman up, and he's got runners on first and second with 1 out. Bregman takes the first pitch off the plate for a ball. Is Wes Benjamin starting to struggle here in the later innings? 1-0 pitch just misses off the corner as well, and it's 2-0. Benjamin now trying to work inside. Fastball over the heart of the plate, grounded to short. Story to second for 1, on to first, and it's an inning-ending double play. Not the location Benjamin wanted with that pitch, but he gets away with it, and the Rangers have shut out the Astros through 6 complete. Go to the bottom of the 7th now. After a leadoff double, a ground ball into right field. Naquin comes up throwing, and it will hold the runner at third base. But Benjamin starting to really feel it here in the later innings. 0-1 pitch to Brandon Drury, and he singles home the first Astro run of the game. We go to first and second with nobody out, and Jose Leclerc coming on for his 39th appearance of the season. 3.12 ERA facing Nick Maton. First 2 pitches in there for strikes. Looking to do away with the left-hander. The fastball up and in, and he gets him to swing weakly right through it. 1 out crucially here for Leclerc. Next batter's Nova, the shortstop, swings, grounds this one down to first. Another double play opportunity is low, goes to Story, back to low, and the Rangers get out of it. Great job turning that double play as we go 3-6-3 and to the bottom of the 9th. Kyle Tucker leading off against Jonathan Hernandez, and an excuse me swing down the third baseline against the shift. It's a base hit for the leadoff hitter in Kyle Tucker. Yan Gomes the next batter. He'll square to bunt, and it's a good one. Over to first, low, flips to Hernandez covering, and the Rangers do get the first out, but the sacrifice works. Brandon Drury up next. He knocked in the first run of the game for the Astros his last time up in an 0-2 hole. Hernandez kicks, fires, and misses over the plate. Into right field it goes. It's going to be a plate. The plate is Naquin, fires home, but it's not in time. The Astros tie it up in the bottom of the 9th. Brandon Drury and Trevor Story have driven in both runs for their team respectively. Next batter, though, it's a ground ball to second base. The Rangers turn their 3rd double play of the ball game as Nick Maton grounds into the inning-ending twin killer. And we go to extras. Top of the 10th, 2-1 count here on Trevor Story, and he'll single this one into left field. Now, Willie Calhoun was the runner on second. He hesitated. Even with a faster runner, you're not scoring there, but it is runners on the corners now, 3-1 count. And Nate Lowe walks to load the bases as Blake Taylor is in a spot of bother here. Jose Trevino now the batter. Looking for just 1 run, 2-2 pitch, and he swings over the top of a slider. There's 1 out. Next batter, Jason Martin, 1 for 4 on the day. Gets under a high fastball, and it's an infield fly. 2 outs now as the Rangers on the verge of squandering a great opportunity. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, the next batter. Hanging slider, drilled into left field, a base hit. 1 run will score. Story being waved to the plate, and it's offline. Story a head-first dive, and the Rangers double the lead. It's 4-2 over the Astros as Taylor was 1 out away from climbing out of it, and he hangs a slider to the Rangers' 3rd baseman. Kiner-Falefa comes through, and Texas opens it up. David Dahl, the next batter, though. After a pitching change to Joe Smith, the 1-1 pitch ripped deep to right center field. Going back to the right fielder, a dive, and it's over his head. The bases will clear. David Dahl will stand up into third base. Texas leads by 4 now. It's 6-2. The 4th triple of the season for David Dahl, who continues to be such a clutch bat for Texas. It's hitters like David Dahl who give me the belief that Texas can make a deep run in the postseason. Our pitching may not be the best right now, but David Dahl and others like Trevor Story continue to hit the ball as Brett Martin comes in, quickly gets the first out with the runner scooting over to third. That's the zombie runner. 0-2 count now here on Michael Brantley, and a weak pop-up to shortstop. Trevor Story makes the catch. Texas 1 out away from taking game 1. Pedro Leon 0 for 4, the final chance, and a line drive that bounces in front of Lowe. He'll step on the bag, and the Rangers take game 1 of the final series against the Astros. Great job from Trevor Story, who has hit 40 home runs this season. He didn't need a home run today, but the 2 RBIs get the Rangers into extras, and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and David Dahl handle the rest. Well, the Rangers would win the second game 13-3 as the Express clinch their division. They'll be taking on the Sacramento River Cats in the division series, and for that reason, we're not going to get through the rest of this month. I want to get through these last couple of games, see if we can win the division, maybe even as soon as the next 3 games, as you see the box score from our 13-3 win. A run first inning boosted the Rangers to an easy victory, but I also want to focus a little bit on the Round Rock postseason. We're not going to play every game there, but I do want to at least see how they get to their elimination game and then maybe even play one or two of their games, as well as you get a look at the divisional standings and the wild card standings as well. The Yankees lead the American League wild card race, the Astros clinging desperately to that second spot. Here's a look at the AAA roster, and you notice guys like Steele Walker and Davis Wenzel, who are now on the team. I called them up from AA since the Rough Riders weren't going to be making the postseason, and I wanted to see if Round Rock could win a AAA championship. Blaine Inlow, Hank Lyons also join this AAA staff, and especially with the loss of Brock Burke, this pitching upgrade I think really gives the Express a chance to do some damage against the River Cats. Now, I know Inlow and Lyons don't have any AAA experience, so it is a little bit of a risk, but they've been pitching so well at the AA level, I thought let's go ahead and give them a shot and bolster this Round Rock rotation. You see the Express won by 2 games over the Chihuahuas, and we get back to the Rangers schedule. We'll finish out the month, and next episode will be the end of the regular season. We'll see exactly what Texas does, if we can win the division, and what AAA Round Rock does in the postseason. Until next time, so long, everybody.